Our next inductee, NBA legend Wayne Embry. You bet. Wayne was talked out of retirement and then went on and won a title with the Boston Celtics. And that was when he was a player, he was called Wayne the Wall Embry. But as an executive, he ushered in a golden age of Cavalier hoops in the mid-1980s, all the while breaking down barriers. With an assist from Cavalier legend Mark Price, here's our video on Wayne Embry.
From Tecumseh High School to Miami of Ohio and beyond, Wayne Embry left an indelible mark on the sport of basketball. In Oxford, Ohio, he was team captain and twice led his team to the NCAA tournament.
Number 15, Wayne Embry.
In the NBA, Wayne the Wall Embry played 11 seasons, 8 in Cincinnati, and he was a 5-time All-Star. Once his playing days were over, Wayne Embry became the first African-American general manager and team president in league history, Milwaukee 72 to 79.
He is the Jackie Robinson of general managers when it comes to sports.
He opened that door and those opportunities for, you see a lot of guys now in those positions at the NBA level. And Wayne was a trailblazer at that time, in the NBA.
And when he joined the Cavaliers as GM in the mid-'80s, his first selection, well, it was really the great Lenny Wilkens.
He entrusted Lenny with all of us young guys, and he was awesome.
Price fires on the run for three, and he hits it.
Mark Price was part of the blockbuster '86 class, though Embry actually traded for him with Dallas.
Kevin Johnson on the drive.
But the next year, Kevin Johnson was a lottery pick. Wayne and Lenny's openness is the big reason Mark Price's number, not Johnson's, hangs in the rafters.
Mark, what you lacked in size, you made up in heart.
I give Wayne a lot of credit. Lenny, obviously made that decision. Wayne had to sign off on it for sure, and particularly sign off on it to the fact that about halfway through that season, I was playing so well. Wayne traded Kevin Johnson to Phoenix, and that's how we got Larry Nance.
Wayne Embry.
Twice with Cleveland, Wayne was named NBA Executive of the Year. And in 1999, he was named to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Not done yet. As a senior basketball advisor, he helped Toronto win a championship. And 3 years ago, Miami of Ohio honored him with an amazing statue. Wayne Embry, trailblazer and 2024 inductee into the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, our newest inductee, Wayne Embry.
Thank you very much. This is a great honor. I grew up outside of Springfield, Ohio on a little farm. And when I wasn't baling hay, I was playing basketball, football, baseball. And my dad, having played baseball, wanted me to be a baseball player. So I went out for the high school team. My high school basketball coach was also the baseball coach. And so he was very instrumental. He played baseball with my dad somewhere along the way. And so they wanted me to become a baseball player. And I grew up with the Cleveland teams, both of the Cleveland teams at the time, the Indians and the Browns. And it was during the time that the Indians were contending for championships, and I wanted to become a baseball player. So I went out for the high school team, major team, and we were playing a team that the scouting report said they had a great curveball pitcher. So I asked my dad, I said, how do you hit a curveball? He said, dig in, wait for it to break, and then swing. said, okay. So I dug in, waited for it to break. It didn't break. So I got home that evening, my dad asked me how it was, and I showed him the big bruise on my shoulder. So that ended my baseball career until, well, it didn't really, because several years later, when I was general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, the Brewers had a pregame long ball hitting contest with the some of the Bucks players and management and Green Bay Packers. So I participated in that, and I, like many of us who didn't really play the sport, hit ground balls and strikes and foul tips, and you got 8 pitches. So after a while, I stepped out of the batter's box and I said to the catcher, I said, how many more pitches do I have? He says, you got 1 more left. So I stepped back into the batter's box, pointed to the left field bleachers. And Andre, I took it out. That was the extent of my baseball career. I grew up wanting to be a Browns player in the worst way as well. I thought these big hands, Otto Graham, would have a nice target. And I chose not to play football as the Cincinnati Royals drafted me to play basketball, and that started my basketball career. And I still was being pursued by several football teams to play football. The New York Giants sent me a contract. I talked to their general manager, and I want you to hear this. You basketball players in the room, they offered me a contract for $7,500. I said, well, I'd be taking a cut in pay. I'm making 86 playing basketball. And so I said, I'm not signing the contract, play football. Several years later, many years later, I was at a golf outing, Bobby Mitchell golf outing, as a matter of fact, and I happened to be having lunch with Tommy McDonald, the old wide receiver with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I told him the story about me being offered a contract to play football, but I had to take a cut in pay. And I, of course, told him the numbers. He said, how many games do you guys play? I said, 72. He said, we play 12. So I scratched my head. I said, wow, there's something to that. But it's indeed an honor to be here. I finally got back to Cleveland thanks to Gordon Gunn. So thank you, Gordon Gunn, for bringing me to Cleveland. And although it's not with the now Guardian or the Browns, it's the great Cavaliers. And I'm so fortunate to have been able to work with great people, great ownership, coaches, players, staff. All were very inspirational in helping me do my job and made my job easy. To have such players as Larry Nance and Mark Price and Brad Doherty and the group we had back in the 90s was just tremendous, and it was great for the city. And although I am not with the Cavaliers now, I happen to be with another franchise not far away, but My second team I pulled for is the Cavaliers. And when you won the championship several years ago, I became overcome with emotion watching the parade, because it was something we weren't able to accomplish back during my tenure as the general manager of the Cavs. But we had some great teams, and I tell you, it was quite emotional to have the fans support that we had at the old Richfield Coliseum, and then we moved downtown. So I thank the fans and many of you in this room were very supportive of us during those years. And I also want to thank staff members that are here with me this evening, because without them, this all couldn't be possible. You're only as good as the people you work with. And I work with great people, and it was quite an inspiration to me, but more inspiration came with and from my family. My two daughters are here tonight, Debbie and Jill. My son and my late wife were very supportive of me during my career, both on and off the court. And I am just very grateful to them, all the support that they gave me. And I want to thank the Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame for this great honor. I am thrilled to receive it, and I want to congratulate the other inductees. You're an inspiration as well, so thank you very much.
And Wayne Embry,
Thank you, sir.
our newest inductee into the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame. Give it up for Wayne. So many Cavalier greats. You see their numbers hanging from the rafters at the arena, and this is the man that brought so many of them here to Cleveland, those great teams of the Cavaliers. Congratulations again to Wayne Embry, our newest inductee into the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame.